Shelter is one of the most important things you need to think about when you are in the wild. You need a place where you can be safe from the elements. There are a lot of options to build, but I will go through just 5 of them. Take note because this can be very handy in survival emergencies. Wilderness Survival Shelter Number 1. A Round Lodge. The round lodge is a hybrid from many cultures. Part tipi, part wickiup, and influenced by many architectural styles. A round lodge can block wind, rain, cold, and sun. It is structured like a tipi, with the addition of a solid doorway. These typically have a smoke hole through the roof, and can accommodate a tiny fire for heat and light. This shelter can be thatched with grass or mats, or it can be buried with a thick coat of leaf litter. This architecture worked equally well in wetter climates. Wilderness Survival Shelter Number 2. A Frame Tarp Shelter. The A-frame is a tarp design that gives great coverage against rain and wind. When built close to the ground, when suspended higher, it still provides coverage from rain, but it allows more airflow underneath. A-frames go up fast. Once you pick your shelter site, you can have your tarp hung up in 10 minutes or less, leaving plenty of time in the day to accomplish other survival tasks. To get started, suspend a line of cordage between 2 trees or similar supports. Lay your tarp over the line and tie down all 4 corners of your tarp. This shelter is a significant addition to a tarp hammock or strung up over a springy bough bed. Wilderness Survival Shelter Number 3. A wickiup. The wickiup is a bit like a small tipi made from poles, brush, and vegetation. You can find this shelter across the globe, but has been most frequently documented in the American Southwest. Thicker brush, grass, and leaf coverings along with a steeper roof can make this shelter suitable for climates with occasional rain. A broader, squattier structure covered with light brush can give you a shady, ventilated shelter for hot, dry climates. Wilderness Survival Shelter Number 4. A leaf hut. The leaf hut is a 2-sided, wedge-shaped lean-to with much better weatherproofing and insulating qualities. To build one, select a long, sturdy pole 9 to 12 feet long. Prop it up in the fork of a tree, or set it on a rock, stump, or 2 fork prop sticks. Then, cover the sides of the pole with tree branches to act as ribs. These are placed at an angle along both sides of the ridgepole. Place the ribs close together so that your hut covering won't fall through. Next, heap vegetation over the framework. This can be anything that traps air, including grass, ferns, moss, pine needles, brush, or pine boughs. 2 to 3 feet of vegetation covering all sides of the shelter is enough to keep you dry inside. Finally, fill the inside of the hut with a thick pile of vegetation for your bedding. Wilderness Survival Shelter Number 5. A lean-to. The lean-to is one of the simplest and most frequently constructed primitive shelters. It can be set up in less than an hour with a variety of materials. This basic, one-sided design will give you a haven from wind and rain that the wilderness might throw at you. Securely support a long, stout pole between 2 trees. Cover one side with poles, brush, or branches. Then heap leaves, grasses, palm fronds, or any other vegetation that is available on top. This shelter has 2 fundamental flaws. Flaw number 1, it doesn't hold and heat well. Flaw number 2, if the wind or rain changes direction, you'll no longer be sheltered. Think of it as a house with only one wall and half of a roof. It offers little in the way of insulation and merely deflects wind and reflects the heat of the nearby fire. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And remember, you are never too prepared.